I'm Kim Calvert, Vice President of Marketing and Member Services at the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, and it is truly a privilege to welcome you to the 28th Annual ATHENA Award Dinner. We were devastated to not be able to hold this event in 2020. We had just announced this crazy, impressive, and powerful list of 28 nominees, the largest group of nominees since 2013, and among the largest in a decade, had moved the event to this gorgeous venue and had taste tested so many wonderful dinner options with the chef, which is a horrible job, in case you were wondering, to ensure a most magical evening for our nominees and guests. We are so excited to be here with 550 of all of you beautiful and so beautifully dressed people this evening, all under one roof tonight. And to say it brings me and our team and all of the people at this head table pure joy is an understatement. Tonight, we honor 28 nominees, women who strive toward the highest levels of professional accomplishment, women who excel in their chosen career, have devoted time, energy, and leadership to their community, and who serve as exceptional role models, inspiring and assisting others to achieve excellence. Tonight, we celebrate women who embody Athena, the dynamic goddess of Greek mythology, known for her strength, courage, and wisdom. Our nominees are a powerful group with a tremendous ability to impact whatever issues they choose to address and to affect change, and their work and dedication touch thousands across our entire valley. Whether you know our nominees and the work that they have accomplished or will be learning about them for the first time tonight, I promise that you will be amazed by their achievements as well as their passion for helping others. Over the past 27 years, we have honored 1,000 women in our valley through the ATHENA Award Program, heard so many moving and powerful remarks from our 27 recipients, and had some pretty awesome speakers along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens for a look back.
Life is hectic and unpredictable, and we all go at an unbelievable pace. But I encourage all of you to truly believe in who you are.
At our orientation, Dr. Laura Meek said, it increases your circle of influence. I love that. That's what this is all about, making this world a better place.
Today we are honoring the contribution of women here in the Mahoning Valley. I am proud to call this home. We have so many positive qualities in our valley and many great leaders making a difference every day.
Be your own kind of leader. Don't think you have to fit into somebody else's mold of what kind of a leader you have to be.
I'm so thankful to the Chamber for this opportunity and for the opportunity for women to come together and lead and to mentor each other and to show the world that we can have it all. We just have to juggle a lot of things, and it isn't always going to be perfect.
My belief is that all of you, all of us, are driven by our passion and our purpose, whether that's in public advocacy, whether it's in health, whether it's in manufacturing. We all are committed to our purpose.
What does success look like? I heard a quote recently that said success is going from one failure to another with enthusiasm.
This honor confirms something I've known about myself for a long time, and that's I am a hard worker, but I'm also really lucky.
I also think that you need to have a plan.
You got to learn how to set goals. Goals are very important. I always tell people that's the roadmap to success.
I truly believe in life, the greatest privilege, the greatest responsibility for all of us is to help and serve each other. My fellow nominees, you exemplify that.
While the playing field looks more fair and level, we still have work to do. And as I said, that work to do is to nurture and develop the next generation.
You know, it was an honor just to be nominated and to be classed in with all these other wonderful and accomplished women who have done so much in their own areas to help and better our community. And isn't that what the ATHENA Award and a program is really all about? Recognizing women in leadership who have mentored others and who have worked for the betterment of their community.
Allow me to begin our evening with special introductions. Seated at our head table from your left to right on the upper stage is Guy Caviello, President and CEO of the Regional Chamber, Tammy Whitworth, Chairman and CEO of Window World and our keynote speaker this evening, Fred Moran, owner and partner of Window World of Youngstown and our keynote presentation sponsor, Dr. Tammy King, Associate Dean of the Batante College of Health and Human Services at Youngstown State University and our 2019 ATHENA Award recipient, Lori Canine, Individual and Small Group Sales Director at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, founder of the Anthem Scholarship, Sherry Harrell, President of the Community Foundation of the Mahoning Valley, which houses our ATHENA Scholarship Fund, and on our lower stage, to your left, Denise Baer, Wealth and Investment Relationship Manager at Huntington Bank, our ATHENA Award Dinner event partner, Sue Schaefer, Community Events Director for The Vindicator and Vindy.com, co-presenter of the ATHENA Award Program, and Dr. Betty Jo Licata, Dean of the Williamson College of Business Administration and longtime chair of our ATHENA Committee. The ATHENA Award Dinner would not be possible, of course, without the support of our co-presenter, The Vindicator and Vindy.com. For 25 years, The Vindicator had partnered with a regional chamber to present this prestigious event. And when the Tribune Chronicle began to publish The Vindicator nearly 2 years ago, its publisher, Charles Jarvis, and his entire team didn't hesitate to step up to ensure our tradition and helping to advance women's leadership continued. And for that, we will be forever grateful. Please welcome this evening from The Vindicator, Sue Schaefer, Community Events Director.
Good evening. On behalf of The Vindicator, I would like to commend the 2021 ATHENA nominees for the important and lasting impact their work has made on the lives of countless individuals in the Valley. The Vindicator is proud to be a partner of this event with the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber. This event is a wonderful opportunity to highlight the great work of women in business and nonprofit organizations. Our company highly values the women who play key roles in producing the daily newspapers that serve Mahoning and Trumbull counties. 13, or 62%, of our 21 employees who have more than 25 years of service are women. One of those is our editor, Brenda Leonard, who could not be here tonight because of a conflicting school event for her son, who's graduating from Austintown-Fitch High School. As we listen to each nominee's story this evening, may we challenge ourselves to follow their example. I'll close with this quote from American musician Taylor Hanson. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sue, and to the Vindicator again for so generously co-presenting the Athena program with us again tonight. Our dinner partner, Huntington Bank, has been a great friend to the Chamber over the years, sponsoring many of our events, and for the past several years, our Athena Award Dinner. We appreciate the support of Regional President William Shivers and his team, and would like to call on Denise Baer, Wealth and Investment Relationship Manager, for remarks on behalf of the company.
Thank you very much. Good evening, I'm Denise Bayer, and I serve as a Wealth and Investment Relationship Manager for Huntington Bank's private bank. It's an honor to be here tonight with you. Huntington is honored to sponsor the 2021 Athena Awards. On behalf of my fellow colleagues, many of whom are in attendance this evening, we would like to congratulate the 2021 Athena Award nominees. We applaud your achievements, the time and energy you have devoted to your community, your profession, and especially for opening doors so that so many others may follow in your path. Your leadership is commendable. Huntington has served communities such as ours since 1866, and today still bears its founder's name. Following in the footsteps of our founder, Huntington is committed to doing the right thing for our customers, colleagues, and communities. We do this by living our purpose of looking out for people and by contributing to the economic strength of our local communities by investing in business growth and by volunteering to make a difference where we live and work. In line with our purpose of making people's lives better, we recently announced a $20 billion 5-year lending, investment, and philanthropic commitment to help improve financial opportunities for consumers, businesses, and communities throughout our Midwest footprint. In the wake of the pandemic, the recession, and critical issues related to racial and social inequity, our purpose of looking out for people is leading us to do more to support underserved people, businesses, and communities. Our community plan focuses on these 3 areas: access to capital, affordable housing and home ownership, and community lending and investment. We work closely with our communities to meet their unique and evolving needs through partnerships with organizations who share our commitment of looking out for people. Aligned with the Athena Award nominees' mindset, at Huntington, our advocacy is about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, looking out for them, and being a champion for our customers and our communities. Huntington is proud to contribute to conversations that help strengthen gender equity and generate female leadership. Again, congratulations to all of the Athena Award nominees. You have earned your rightful position with this honorable class. We applaud your efforts and the ongoing commitment to excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise, and to all of our friends at Huntington Bank, again, for helping us celebrate this momentous occasion. We are going to hear more about our speaker after dinner, but I have to take a moment here. When I found out that Tammy Whitworth would be our keynote and that this $400 million company has 228 stores across the country, I thought, wait a minute, isn't Window World a local company? And I think that speaks volumes for the Moran family and the phenomenal job they've done with their stores over the years. And they have one of the most memorable taglines ever. You know the one I'm talking about. Roll video.
Not only do we stand behind our windows,
we stand on them.
Call now or visit our showroom in Boardman.
It's awesome. I've always wanted, I see that all the time and think, can you really stand on them? And you want to. But Fred and Pat Moran opened their first Window World location in Boardman in 2003, with a second location in Pittsburgh later that year. The family, including Fred and Pat's children, Patrick and Mandy, now have locations in Toledo, Weirton, West Virginia, Cleveland, Akron, and Detroit. In fact, the Moran Group of Stores represents one of the largest groups of Window World stores across the country. We'll hear from Fred a little bit later in the program, but please welcome on behalf of Window World of Youngstown for sponsor remarks, owner and partner Pat Moran.
Good evening, everybody. I guess I don't have to introduce myself now, but I am Pat Moran, owner of Window World here in Youngstown. Along with my dad, Fred, my son, Patrick, my daughter, Amanda, and our family and our whole team of Window World, we wish to congratulate all the ATHENA nominees. What is so impressive, it's so impressive about this group of women in this room tonight. It just amazes me. Their drive, their work ethic, their dedication to serving the community is so inspiring to me. At Window World, we share the same values as these women represent. I believe our work ethic and dedication in serving our community will continue for years to come. Thank you to the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber and the Vindicator in celebrating of women. We are so proud to partner with you tonight. You are all winners here from Window World. Everyone, have a great time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, and to the entire Moran family for being part of the event this evening. Additionally, the Vindicator, Huntington, and Window World join the Chamber in expressing our gratitude to all of our 2021 ATHENA sponsors. Please hold your applause. Our diamond sponsor, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Video presentation sponsor, Packer Thomas. VIP cocktail reception sponsor, the Moransky Companies. Partner sponsors, Kamara Jewelers, Crop Photography, Professional Engine Systems, Stewart Healthcare, and VEC. Patron sponsors, Lee and Bonnie Boardman, CTW Development Corporation, Fifth Third Bank, Lala Love Healthcare, Personal Protected, and TCF Bank. Friend sponsors, Braidage Dental, Suburban Insurance Agency, and the Basement Outreach Ministries. And additional support from Blair Littell, MS Consultants, One Health Ohio, and Premier Bank. Can we please have a round of applause for all of our sponsors? I would also like to spotlight a very impressive group of women, the members of the 2021 ATHENA Award Committee who helped to make this evening a success. The group includes past recipients and nominees, sponsors, and overall influential women in our community. They are a passionate and dedicated group led by our exceptional committee chair, Dr. Betty Jo Licata. For the sake of time, I will not read the committee members' names, but they are listed on your program. But ladies, would you please stand while we give you a round of applause for your efforts in making tonight possible? We also wouldn't be celebrating this event without the help of a wonderful team at the Regional Chamber. A special thank you to Chelsea Pascarella, Jacob Zillinger, Samantha Ensminger, Sue Greaves, and Jackie Jacobson for all of your hard work and vision. And to the Chamber's President and CEO, Guy Caviello, our Board Chairman, Michael Schrock, and the entire Board, thank you for your support of this program and all of the wonderful women we honor each year. On May 16th of 2019, Dr. Tammy King, Associate Dean of the Batante College of Health and Human Services at Youngstown State University, was named our ATHENA Award recipient. And as she's about to tell you, that night, in the past 2 years, as she jokes, she is the longest reigning ATHENA recipient ever, but she's had quite an experience. Please welcome Dr. King as she shares her thoughts on the honor and words of wisdom for our nominees and offers an invocation before dinner.
Thank you, Kim. Welcome to all the nominees. What a wonderful event, and so nice to have people here out together socializing. It just brings a lot of joy to my heart. I was humbled when I was selected as a nominee for the ATHENA Award, and I couldn't believe I won, and I was selected as the recipient. There was a great pool of women that night, and just to be among that group brought me such pride. When my name was called, I was shocked, and as I walked up to the stage, I just felt this sense of great gratitude. I was grateful to the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber and the Youngstown Vindicator, for taking the time and the effort to recognize women and what we contribute in society. I was grateful to Youngstown State University for nominating me. I was really and especially grateful to the powerful women in my lives, my mother and all of you out there who set examples and guide and encourage us. The days that followed winning the award were they were surreal. I received cards and gifts. It sort of made me a little embarrassed sometimes. And I got to do interviews, and I was honored by business and politicians. My hometown of Girard, a little small town in Trumbull County, they had a special event at City Hall, and they recognized me. And I was so grateful. It wasn't me that I was proud of. I was proud of the fact that women are being recognized. Our contributions are being heard, and that brought me great joy. One evening, I was at the grocery store, and I ran into this cashier, and she and I started chatting. She recognized me, and she goes, "Wow, how did you win the award?" And I told her about going to school, and she was in high school. She goes, "When I go to YSU, I'm going to look you up." She goes, "I will make it there." And I go, "I know you will." And a few months ago, here she was. It was video chat, but we still got to see each other. She's in our nursing program at Youngstown State University, one of our most challenging programs, and she is a stellar student. I'm just so proud of her. My husband, Ray, wanted me to mention the moment he was most proud. It was at YSU football game when I got to go out onto the field and be announced. He's not here tonight, but he wanted me to share that little tad bit with you, and he wanted to say hello to everybody. It's probably better because he's real shy, so he wouldn't have said hello. Being selected the ATHENA recipient is unforgettable. You just can't put words to it. So many emotions come to the top, and you're just so happy that people are proud of you, and you want to make them proud. Now, as my celebrity status started to fade a little bit, it did, a little bit, not much, I reflected on what's next. I still have to honor these individuals who thought I was worthy of this, and I have to honor those women who came before me and those women who are ahead of me. So I started to think, how can I do that? And I realized I have to set a good example. I have to be positive. I have to work hard. And I have to question what's going on in our society. I know tonight's about celebration, and it is a great celebration. But I want to take just a couple moments and touch on some of the impacts of COVID-19 on women, on all of us. Over the past 14 months, we've seen an increase in some of our social ills. We've had to deal with economic shock, job loss, social injustice, unpaid work, and something really sad, I'm a criminologist, that touched me deeply was the increase of domestic violence with our women and our children. This resulting from money worries, cramped living conditions, isolation, deserted places of refuge. I mention these concerns because I want to raise awareness. To honor the ATHENAs, my plan is to work and to try to do what I can to address these social issues, these social ills. All you strong, wonderful women and men, I challenge you as we move forward in our new social norm, whatever that's going to look like, that you recommit yourself to being a strong and compassionate leader. That you commit yourself to teaching our women and our girls the knowledge and skills they need to take charge of their future and to contribute to the common good. I challenge you to encourage everyone to be a little kinder, be just a little bit more generous, and stay informed on the needs of our community. So what comes next for the ATHENA nominees, recipients, all women and men in this room? The answer is pretty simple. Help each other, care more deeply, and continue to teach and lead compassionately. Thank you for letting me share these comments. Now, it's my honor to do the invocation. If you want to stand or sit, whatever you're comfortable doing. You can even hold hands, some people, so that's a nice thing. We haven't got to do that in a long time. We pray that we shall never be so blind that our small world is all we ever see, or so supremely satisfied that we are satisfied and it is not what we want to achieve more. Give us the job of filling someone's needs, make us gracious followers, make gracious those who lead. And more than all, we pray that through the years, we will remember there are always new frontiers. This evening, as we're about to share this festival meal, we ask for a special blessing for our Athena nominees, who, through their achievements, teach and inspire us all to reach our full leadership potential. May this celebration shed its light on all we do professionally, for each other, and the community. Thank you.
I do want to welcome everybody back. Obviously, we missed last year, but this has always been such a signature event for the Regional Chamber and the Vindicator and for our community. And it's great to have everybody back. Great numbers this evening, and it's almost like a family reunion where you really want to be there and don't want to leave. So we do welcome all of you here and hope you're enjoying your evening. So on behalf of the Regional Chamber and Vindy.com, we again want to welcome you to our 28th annual Athena Award Dinner. It's a great evening and a wonderful opportunity for us to celebrate the accomplishments of so many outstanding women in our community. We hope you enjoyed your meal. If you haven't been to the Waypoint before, obviously it's a beautiful facility with an incredible view, and we are so grateful to be here this evening. And if you need to continue eating or enjoying your dessert, certainly please do so. For those of you who've been with us, you probably know the history of the Athena Award as well as I do, but for those of you who are with us for the first time, I do want to share a little bit of the background with you. The inspiration for the Athena Award originated in Lansing, Michigan in 1980. It was there that Martha Mayhood Mertz, while serving on the Chamber Board in Lansing, realized that the award programs recognizing professional women were few and far between. So she mobilized the community, rounded up sponsors, and the first Athena Award was presented in 1982. Since that time, more than 8,000 individuals in 500 communities around the world have received the award and become a part of Athena International. The Athena Award is presented in more than a dozen countries around the world, and it truly is a global recognition. The Athena Award was first presented in the Mahoning Valley in 1990. Dorothy Perrin, who was the president of the Youngstown Business and Professional Women's Club in the 80s, attended a convention in Charlotte and found out more about the Athena program, and the beautiful bronze sculpture is what attracted her. And you can see the sculpture down here. Each of our Athena winners wins the sculpture as well as a Athena pin. Dorothy Perrin knew that this would be a great program for the Mahoning Valley and brought it to our region. She secured Oldsmobile, I think hopefully you've all heard of Oldsmobile, as the sponsor of the first award and partnered with the Chamber to present the first event. And here we are 31 years later. After the 1991 Athena Award was presented in our valley, the program went into hiatus with the merger of the Youngstown, Niles, and Warren chambers. In 1995, we reinvented the Athena Award, and the Regional Chamber and the Vindicator joined forces as co-presenters. And we're proud to be able to continue that tradition. The Athena program is a great resource for recognizing our nominees and the recipients to create a strong and valuable network for the professional women in our community. And this evening, we have several past Athena Award recipients who are with us and that we would like to recognize. When your name is called, would you please stand and remain standing until all the names have been called? And I would just ask you all to please hold your applause. At our head table, Dr. Tammy King. Holly Welch, our recipient in 2014. Attorney Marty Bushy, 2011. Attorney Shauna L'Italian, 2010. Maria Zo Cartwright, 1991. And Helen Pays, our first recipient in 1990. Please join me in recognizing these women. Each year, selecting the recipient is a difficult decision for the selection committee because there are so many successful and worthy women who were nominated. Fortunately, I do want to be clear, that is a committee I have nothing to do with. The committee that I have the privilege of chairing oversees the ATHENA program and our award and our dinner, but is not the selection committee. We'd like to ask all past ATHENA nominees who are with us this evening if you would please stand and be recognized. So if you've been a nominee in our last 28 ATHENA programs, please stand. In a few minutes, we'll introduce you on an individual to each of the individual nominees. But it's become our tradition, we've also captured a bit of insight from our nominees through a series of questions and a video for each of these areas. So we've asked them a few questions. We're going to share their responses with you, and this will give you an opportunity to get to know all of our nominees a little bit better. So if you would please direct your attention to the screen for our first video.
My first job was with the Youngstown Vindicator as a newspaper carrier on the west side of Youngstown. I was 11 or 12, I don't remember, and that led to babysitting jobs for the people on my route. And interestingly, one of the fellow nominees, Michelle Allman, was one of the people I babysat.
My first job was at a fast food restaurant, the Canfield and Hardee's, which is no longer there. But I think it was a great job looking back. The managers were wonderful. They were very professional and treated everybody fairly and created a positive team atmosphere. So I got along well with my coworkers, and it was a fun place to work.
My first job, I was a dishwasher at a local restaurant close to where I live. And this will surprise most people, but I didn't talk. And so they hired me as a dishwasher, and because I came from a family of 11, worked on a farm, I knew how to work. So I went in, I washed those dishes, but I didn't talk. I didn't talk to nobody. I never talked. And so the owner came up to me and said, "Do you talk?" And I'm like, I just kept washing the dishes, but I never talked. So I was a nonverbal dishwasher.
I got my first job when I was about 15 years old. I was a bus girl for a restaurant in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. It was actually a really great experience. I learned a lot of skills that I've used throughout my whole life. Like, that's where I learned how to do laundry and wrap silverware and all that interesting stuff that I've used for parties and stuff. And yeah, it was a really fun experience.
I had a large sticker collection in the 3rd grade. And I was kind of bored in class, so I started just cutting up pieces of paper, making bookmarks, and I sold them to my friends for 5 cents, 10 cents each. The special, like, spiral ones with the glitter stickers went for 25 cents. And with my best friend, we were able to sell about $20 worth of bookmarks in like about 6 business days. At that point, the principal caught on, and we learned that you can't have enterprises in school. I think we gave the money to the Humpback Whale Society or something like that.
My first job, I worked delivering newspapers. My brother actually had a paper route of about 100 homes, and he got diagnosed with leukemia about 6 months after he got the route, and he didn't want to give it up. So my parents said, "How about you handle this for a while?" So I did.
My first job, believe it or not, was working in the business office. So I came from Atlanta, Georgia, up here in Ohio, Mount Vernon, Ohio, to Mount Vernon Academy. I say I was about 16 years old. And so my job, my work study, was to work with Mr. Patterson. He was the treasurer. Worked with Mr. Patterson in the business office.
15, 16 years old, and I actually worked for Nasi Meat Packing in Mesopotamia, Ohio, where they slaughtered and processed beef and pork. And mostly I worked wrapping and freezing per customer specifications.
First job ever, I was the birthday party coordinator for Camelot Lanes.
16 years old. I was in charge of every Saturday and Sunday ordering the cakes from Giant Eagle, ordering the pizza, picking it up, setting up the party rooms, and just overseeing the entire birthday party. I remember one day I had Denise York and her husband were having their birthday party for their children at the bowling alley, and I remember they gave me a $150 tip, and at 16 I thought I hit the lottery. I was super excited to come home and tell my parents about that, so it was a really, really fun first job.
So clearly, work ethic and entrepreneurial spirit started very young for our nominees. So our Athena program here in the Mahoning Valley really is a continuum of events. We have the Athena Award. We also have the Athena Leadership Forum, which are some professional networking opportunities that we provide to our Athena nominees. But 13 years ago, the Athena Committee established a scholarship to further the goals of the Athena mission to advance women's leadership and to promote education. In conjunction with the Community Foundation of the Mahoning Valley, which manages our Athena Scholarship Fund, we're able to award a deserving student a $1,500 scholarship to continue her education. In addition, I'm proud to announce that this year's recipient will also receive an iPad donated by Lee and Bonnie Boardman. Here to introduce our 2021 Athena Scholarship recipient is the president of the Community Foundation of the Mahoning Valley, Sherry Harrell.
It's a challenging step there, and my middle name is not Grace. Let's just say that. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again, and on behalf of the Community Foundation Board and staff, congratulations to all of this year's nominees. It is my distinct honor to present this year's Athena Scholarship to a deserving young woman who clearly stood out among the applicants. The requirements for this scholarship state that the applicant must be a resident of the Mahoning Valley and either planning to attend or already attending Youngstown State University, Eastern Gateway Community College, or one of Kent State University's regional campuses. The recipient of the Athena Scholarship should demonstrate initiative and excellence in her educational and work pursuits, have a proven record of community involvement, and commitment to and experience in mentoring others. As you are about to hear, our recipient this year has excelled at all of these. The scholarship recipient has a litany of achievements under her belt, including the 20 Under 20 Award, the Angel in the Crowd Award for Compassion and Service, and recognition for creating 2 fundraisers to benefit those impacted by Hurricane Harvey and the Australian wildfires. Taylor Sebastiano will continue her educational pursuit at YSU this fall as a sophomore and honors program student majoring in biology while she's planning to pursue her medical degree upon graduating from YSU. Taylor's passion for serving her community is clear to anyone who knows her, and she has an extensive history in volunteer work to show for it. She is currently running a YSU honors program, Helping Future Scholars, which is a volunteer organization of YSU students who tutor school-aged children. She is also a part of a group of honors students establishing a new ACT summer prep program for high school students. Taylor is an active crisis text line support agent and has spent time helping at Oh Wow Science Center, Westside Cats, and the St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen. At John F. Kennedy Catholic High School, Taylor was on the honor roll every year, served as president of the school's Career Readiness Program, vice president of the National Honor Society, and secretary of the Key Club. She graduated with honors in 2020. Today, she is a student senator and an honors college trustee at YSU and holds 2 positions within her sorority, Delta Zeta. Taylor's vision for the future is a strong one, with an emphasis on providing medical care to families and children in need. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our 2021 Athena Scholarship recipient, Ms. Taylor Sebastiano.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the ATHENA Scholarship Committee for their immense generosity and consideration. Being here tonight, surrounded by such esteemed women, is an honor. Ever since I was a little girl, I was a dreamer. I wanted to be all of the cliche things children always answer when they're asked. A vet, a marine biologist, a lawyer, an architect, but eventually I landed on medicine. I wanted to be a doctor. Out of everything else, that one stuck. And I think that's because of the examples I was shown when I was little. My grandma, my great-grandma, and my aunt are all nurses. Every family gathering was filled with stories and these big words that I didn't understand, but the stories always seemed to end with something to the effect of helping people. Helping people get better and healing people. Seeing the passion in their eyes when they talked about their work inspired me. My dream is to become the first female physician in my family, to inspire another girl just like me by talking about not only my profession, but my passion. I am proud to say that I'm able to pursue this dream, and it is because of the people in my life who endlessly support me through this journey, like my grandma, my siblings, my amazing boyfriend, and the encouraging committee of women here at the ATHENA Scholarship. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Taylor, congratulations on your accomplishments, and we look forward to all your future success. When we presented the ATHENA Scholarship at this event 9 years ago, a regional vice president at Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield was in the crowd and was so impressed with the presentation of the ATHENA Scholarship and the comments of the recipient that they too decided to participate in making this important investment in the young women of our community. So tonight we're honored to present again 2 additional Anthem scholarships in the amount of $1,250. Please welcome to present these awards Lori Canine, Individual and Small Group Sales Director at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Thank you. I am so honored to present these 2 scholarships on behalf of Anthem this evening. Our first recipient, Haley Brock, is graduating from Latonia High School with a 3.75 grade point average as a National Honor Society member, class of 2021 secretary and student council member. This fall, she will begin her journey at YSU in the nursing program. During the past 4 years, Haley has been the recipient of the Renaissance Award for Destination Imagination and has placed numerous times in both state and regional Destination Imagination competitions. She was named a delegate to Buckeye Girls State in 2020, a program designed to educate Ohio's young women in the duties, privileges, rights, and responsibilities of good citizenship. She also has an impressive track record in athletics, having received girls' varsity awards in golf and basketball, as well as holding the school record for the girls' varsity team golf score. Emphasizing the importance of service and leadership in her life, Haley has helped raise and donate thousands of dollars to local agencies and donated 50 safety buckets full of supplies to her school to aid in emergencies. She has volunteered for local blood drives, book fairs, Secret Santa workshops, and the Rulli Brothers Trunk or Treat. With this award, Haley hopes to further her educational pursuits and continue to emphasize the value of volunteer work within her community. Quoting Winston Churchill in her application, she lives by the mantra of, "You make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give." Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our first Anthem Scholarship recipient, Miss Haley Brock.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start off by saying how honored and grateful I am to have received this award. The Athena Award is given to women who show career success, service, and leadership in their community. This award represents the type of woman I strive to be throughout my entire high school career. High school is difficult when it comes to learning who you are as a person. I've had to keep reminding myself about the morals my family has instilled in me. I will make mistakes, but as long as I learn from them, I know I will make my family proud and become the successful woman they believe I can be. My plan is to attend Youngstown State University for nursing and eventually pursue a career in nurse practitioner. I decided on nursing because I wanted to choose a career path that would be challenging, interesting, and would make a difference in people's daily lives. Once again, thank you for the generosity and the Anthem Scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley, and congratulations again on all your hard work and achievements. We wish you the best for much success. Our second Anthem Scholarship recipient, Sarah DeLucia, is also preparing to begin her college career at YSU this fall, where she will be focusing on animal studies and Spanish. Growing up, Sarah found her strength and her voice by giving back through organizations like 4-H and Girl Scouts. She believes these activities made her best better and led to her many academic and community-based achievements. At Springfield Local High School, where she will graduate with a 3.61 GPA, Sarah is a member of the National Honor Society, received the Academic Excellence Award, and is part of the Academic Hall of Fame. She placed 6th nationally and 1st in Ohio for National History Day and has won the Mahoning Valley Historical Society Local History Award and countless additional awards for 4-H. Through 4-H and Girl Scouts, Sarah took leadership camps to become a better role model and a leader in her community. She is currently involved in 4-H's one-on-one 4-H Teen Mentor Project, actively mentoring a younger 4-H member by sharing experiences, offering guidance, and building friendships. Sarah is also a 4-H counselor at Camp Whitewood. With the aid of this scholarship, Sarah hopes to bolster her education and spread compassion throughout her community. She wants to help students receive a quality education regardless of location and hopes to one day sponsor youth organizations like the ones that have come to mean so much to her. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present the Anthem Scholarship to Sarah DeLucia.
I would like to thank Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, the Vindicator, Athena, and the sponsors that put together this wonderful awards dinner. It is inspiring to meet the 2021 Athena nominees and the other scholarship recipients. I would like to thank Anthem and the Scholarship Committee for choosing me as one of their scholarship award recipients. This scholarship will help me to financially meet my college goals. Just as importantly, the scholarship represents the fact that Anthem recognizes the hard work that I've done both in high school and through community service, and their belief in my future success. I'm so very thankful for the support. I would also like to thank my mom, who is my personal role model. Thank you, Mom, for all that you do for me. Again, thank you, Anthem and the committee, for choosing me as one of the recipients of your 2021 scholarship, and I hope to continue to be a wonderful leader, just like everyone else in this room. Thank you.
Congratulations to Sarah and Haley, and now you see how inspirational these young women are, so we look forward to adding to our scholarships next year from all of you. Although we didn't have the Athena dinner last year, we did decide to go ahead and award the Athena scholarships and the Anthem scholarships last year to 3 deserving young women. 2 of them are with us this evening, and I will just ask them to stand where they are. Gabriella Gensimer was our Athena Scholarship recipient. She was valedictorian with the 4.0 from Western Reserve and the Mahoning County Career and Technical Center. and she's studying electrical engineering at YSU. Also with us this evening is Annabelle Himes. Annabelle was an Anthem Scholarship recipient. She graduated with a 4.0. She's majoring in business and also has her own business called Heroes and Tiaras. So if any of you need characters at your events, she's the young lady to talk to. And Sophie Clace was our second Anthem Scholarship recipient. Sophie graduated from McDonald High School with a 3.95, and she's majoring in early childhood education at YSU. We asked each of these young ladies what they've been up to for the past year since graduating from high school and starting college. So if you would please turn your attention to the screens, you'll get an update.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabriela Gensimer, and I am the 2020 Athena Scholarship recipient. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic last year, we weren't able to have an award ceremony, so I feel privileged to be a part of this one. Over the past year, I've started my post-secondary education at Youngstown State University, double majoring in electrical engineering and mathematics. The two main programs that I'm involved in there is the Youngstown State Honors College and the Choose Ohio First Scholarship Program, where I've spent the past year studying the possibility of a miniaturized computer system utilizing a protectable keyboard. I work an on-campus job with STEM Professional Services under the Dean of the STEM College, and actually at the beginning of this week, I started a full-time summer engineering internship at Goodyear World Headquarters in Akron. I still feel very honored to receive the scholarship from last year, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Annabelle Himes, and I just completed my freshman year at the Youngstown State University. At YSU, I'm involved in the Honors College, president of the Society of Human Resource Managers, a member of the President's Residence Hall Leaders, a part of the Williamson College of Business Student Leadership Council, and the Williamson College of Business Young Business Leaders. I'm a member of the Student Nonprofit Leadership Organization, the Morale Manager for Gwynethon, and a part of the Women's Soccer Club. I currently work as a student assistant and teaching assistant at the Youngstown State University Honors College. In addition to working in the Honors College, I run a small business called Heroes and Tiaras, where we attend children's parties and different events as princesses and superheroes. Through my small business, I recently won the John Bergen Entrepreneurship Honorable Mention Award, as well as the WYTV Hometown Hero. Additionally, I was this year's Phi Kappa Phi guest speaker. The Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Scholarship has allowed me to become closer to my dreams to becoming a speech pathologist for special needs children. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sophie Clace, 2020 Scholarship recipient. I want to start by thanking the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield for the scholarship opportunity. It has drastically eased the financial burden of my first year of college. This past year has been anything but ordinary for me and full of many new experiences. This past summer, I held the position as park attendant in McDonald, where I interacted with children daily. This job also set me up with my current volunteer role as concession stand coordinator for the McDonald Baseball Association. In the fall of 2020, I began my college career at Youngstown State University, majoring in primary education. I have maintained a 4.0 GPA, making the president's list 2 times. I have used my first 2 semesters to explore campus and make connections with peers and professors. My current job is at the Learning Tree Preschool and Daycare, where I work with children 6 weeks to 12 years old, allowing me to sharpen my patience, decision-making, and communication skills. Once again, thank you so much.
I'm sure you're exhausted just listening to all of the activities of these young ladies, and we do look forward to their continued success and their return to the Athena dinner each year. How about one more round of applause for all of our scholarship recipients? Before we officially introduce our 2021 Athena Award nominees, I'd ask you again to take a look at the screen and hear what our nominees have to say about who their inspiration is.
Professionally, my inspiration has been this school year, particularly teachers and students. This has been a very difficult school year, There's a lot of fear and trepidation coming back to school, a lot of new things like plexiglass and face masks that nobody had ever had to deal with before. So my teachers came back to school and they were scared and they were anxious, but they did exactly what they needed to do.
I would have to say my family. I'm the oldest of two amazing parents, and I think that family unit where leadership and self-esteem were ingrained in me at an early age, and they are my biggest cheerleaders, my biggest supporters, along with my husband now, of course, but they instilled in me that I could be anything I wanted to be.
I grew up down south, ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, but you know, my parents, my mother and my grandmother, they instilled in me the importance of getting your education. And so, yeah, that's what kept me doing what I needed to do, you know, to finish up my degrees.
I seem to be very motivated and inspired by the underdogs, people that have raised themselves up out of severe conditions or great challenges and have persevered and done something. They don't have to be famous. It's just that they've persevered and they've attributed a lot to this world. So those are my inspirations.
My biggest inspiration would be my parents. I'm one of 8 children with an age span of 15 years. And growing up, the one thing I can always remember is saying, it's not fair, it's not fair. And my parents would tell me life's not fair. But I did still want things to be equal. But my parents taught me the importance and the difference between equal and equity.
My son, believe it or not, I have a 13-year-old, and when I became a mom, everything changed for the better. You know, as difficult as my professional job is, the mom job is even more difficult and rewarding.
My biggest is God. If it weren't for the grace and love and forgiveness and healing of God, I wouldn't be standing right here. If it weren't for God, I wouldn't get to know the people I know. I wouldn't be out on the streets doing what I do, so it's God.
My mother, for sure, for both. She was a single mom. She was divorced when I was 3 and she was pregnant with my sister. And later in life, when I was in elementary school, she had decided that she wanted to go back. She was a nurse and she wanted to become a doctor. So she went back to school as a single mom, graduated magna cum laude from Ohio State University, and became one of the leading OBGYNs at the Cleveland Clinic.
Someone I think of every day is Jeanette Sadiq Khan. She was the Commissioner for Transportation for the City of New York under the Bloomberg administration. As a young engineering or transportation professional, I used to attend the Women in Transportation events. She was there. And she really drastically changed how the engineering field looks at transportation for pedestrians. She's the one that redid Times Square and so forth. So she's really relentless in her response to how we change infrastructure.
I look at my parents, my mom, I look at her for her compassion. She worked at St. Christine, you know, pretty much my whole life. She ran the religious education department, and she was always one of the people that everyone loved, you know, Mrs. Boyle, and she always went above and beyond, and she got me involved in, you know, doing work for the Dorothy Day House and St. Vincent de Paul and helping people at Christmas.
I would say Joyce Meyer. I've always looked up to her, read probably all of her books, and she actually inspired me to write my first book.
I would say like Kamala Harris, not necessarily because of her politics. I mean, I agree with her politics, but it's not because of that. She just strikes like a good balance, I think, of a lot of different qualities. As a prosecutor, she was like tough but fair, which I think is important for that role. I see her as someone who's really strong, yet she could be soft and emotional. She's very confident always, but she still seems to be like approachable and down to earth. So I think it's just a good balance of qualities that I think I respect in any woman.
So my biggest inspiration is the working mother, whether full-time in the workplace or full-time at home. It's been said that children are to teach you life lessons. I've been blessed with one daughter, and after 23 years, I've had enough life lessons taught, but I do know those are meant to continue, and they will. But to the working lady who has multiple children, she is the definition of my shero, and kudos to all the working mothers out there making it happen every day for their families.
And thank you to our nominees for inspiring all of us and teaching us something in that process as well. So through the selection process, we've received volumes of information about our nominees that describe and attest to their impressive accomplishments. Unfortunately, we can't share all of that information with you this evening, so we've selected highlights to incorporate into the introduction of each of the nominees. Each of our nominees will receive a certificate, a reduced version of the full-page ad that ran in the Vindicator, and also a special gift. So we will be calling our nominees up in groups, and if you would come up to the front when your name is called, and we'll begin the introduction of our individual nominees. I'd like to ask Danielle Adams, Nicole Alexander, Michelle Alleman, Carla Baldwin, Aaron Bishop, and Ruth Bodish to come up to the left side of the stage, right where the Chamber's Chelsea Pasquarello is waiting to greet you. And while I'm reading your introduction, please join Tammy Whitworth and Guy Coviello on stage to have your photo taken and receive your gifts. Actually, I think we're going to do it right down here, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to make sure we get them all up here first. During her 5 years at FactSet, Danielle Adams has held many roles, from research analyst to business analyst, before being promoted to content manager in September and becoming the liaison between product and operations teams and cross-locational offices in Ohio, India, and the Philippines. Danielle is paving the way for young professional women as the company's first female hiring manager and a member of FactSet's Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. The charity founder of the Shenango Valley Sunscreen Squad, which collects and distributes donations of sunscreen to local homeless and domestic abuse shelters, was recognized by the Mahoning Valley Young Professionals as an MVP award winner and a 25 under 35 honoree in 2020. At just 32 years old, Nicole Alexander, At just 32, Nicole Alexander was appointed the first female magistrate in the Mahoning County Court of Common Pleas General Division on January 1st, 2019. Her extensive legal knowledge, paired with her compassion, ambition, and commitment to excellence, ultimately led to her appointment as magistrate after just 6 years in the practice of law. Nicole's strong leadership skills and commitment to the community are highlighted in her work as a fellow with the Ohio Innocence Project, in which her contributions resulted in the early release of 4 wrongfully convicted individuals, as well as her participation in the United Way's Young Women's Mentorship Program at Taft Elementary School. Prior to her appointment, Nicole had numerous successful outcomes in litigation as a practicing attorney. Michelle Alleman has dedicated more than 22 years of her life to Ohio's public library system, in which she currently serves as library director at McKinley Memorial Library and a board member of the Northeast Ohio Regional Library System. She served as president of the Niles Rotary Club from 2018 to 2019 and was awarded a Paul Harris Fellow to recognize her service to the club. She has channeled her passion for public libraries to harness services to those who need it most, from overseeing events such as the annual Halloween party and pumpkin walk and health and wellness fair that boast hundreds of attendees, to renovating building facilities, incorporating mobile hotspots, and launching new websites. Michelle's contributions continue to enhance the community. On November 7th, 2017, at just 37 years old, excuse me, the Honorable Carla Baldwin made history when she became the first African-American female elected judge in Mahoning County. Since taking the bench, Judge Baldwin has reformed the Youngstown Municipal Court with her beliefs of what a justice system is and should be. Among her most notable contributions are the creation of the Youngstown Municipal Drug Court and the establishment of the first self-sustaining pretrial services department in Mahoning County. She sits on the boards of Inspiring Minds, Basement Outreach Ministries, and the Raymond John Ween Foundation. Judge Baldwin has been the recipient of multiple awards that recognize her service, and in 2019, she was inducted as an Ohio State Bar Foundation Fellow. Erin Bishop was appointed the first female health commissioner for the city of Youngstown on February 9, 2011. A lifelong resident, her love for the city is the driving force behind her goal of providing equitable and quality health care to the residents. During this unprecedented time of COVID, she has been a fearless and graceful leader, making the hard decisions necessary to maintain the health and welfare of Youngstown's 60,000 residents. Erin is co-chair for the Mahoning-Youngstown Babies First Infant Mortality Coalition, co-chair of the Youngstown Promise Neighborhood Health and Wellness Council, and board chair for Access Health Mahoning Valley. She also serves on the Safe Sleep, Birth Spacing, and Social Determinants of Health Housing Committees, as well as the board of the American Heart Association. And we're so glad Erin had time to join us this evening. During her 10-year tenure at On Demand Occupational Medicine, Ruth Bodish catapulted from on-site drug screen collector to managing director. She seized every opportunity and grew alongside the company. Returning to school and using her growing knowledge base to educate others, Ruth never shied away from a challenge. Her determination to shatter the stigma attached to addiction resulted in her traveling the country to discuss how it can happen to anyone. Her leadership extends far beyond the walls of On Demand, as she routinely volunteers her time and knowledge to present information on addiction, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and more. Recognized by her colleagues as the go-to person in the company, On Demand would not be what it is today without her involvement. Three of our nominees are unable to be with us tonight due to extenuating circumstances, but we'd still like to honor them, and I'd like to share their bios with you. Mara Banfield, Career Tech Director at Mahoning County Career and Technical Institute and Superintendent of Valley STEM and ME2 Academy, has worked tirelessly to redefine career and tech education in the Valley. A relentless advocate and admired mentor, her tenacity and dedication to the advancement of education is unmatched. She was instrumental in the creation and growth of Valley STEM. The student population of more than 200 was at capacity this school year and had a waiting list. She's credited with MCCTC's evolution into an academy-based learning institution. Among the first 10 women to hold school administrator positions in Mahoning County, she continues to leverage her position to encourage female students to pursue non-traditional careers. Boasting more than 14 years of leadership experience with AT&T Sales, Director Shelley Bradley currently heads a diverse team of 850 employees across 3 states. During a time of transition, she went above and beyond to adapt, reinventing the role of a customer service representative and motivating her colleagues with her infectious positivity. Her contributions never go unnoticed, as she is often the recipient of numerous annual awards. There are several dozen AT&T call centers throughout the U.S., and under Shelley's leadership, the Boardman location consistently performs in the top 10. She continues to leave her mark in the community through her work with organizations such as United Way, Akron Children's Hospital, and the National Kidney Foundation. At a time where mental health concerns are rapidly growing, Heather Craver and her team at Cadence Care Network continue to adapt and persevere. Her role in implementing a plan that enabled the agency to provide treatment virtually helped ensure that all children and their families continued to have access to care. Heather works diligently to eliminate the stigma related to mental illness so that everyone feels comfortable accessing behavioral health services. She leads by example. From employees to interns, Heather is an advocate and beloved mentor, the mama bird of the agency. She is a member of the Trumbull County Family and Children First Council and treasurer of her local youth sports organization, Jackson Milton Hot Stove. The last individual I would like to introduce is Jacqueline Burley. Sadly, Jacqueline passed away this past Sunday, but she leaves a lasting legacy in the Mahoning Valley. Affectionately known as Jackie, she joined Protestant Family Service in 1989 as a volunteer. After the untimely death of her predecessor in 1993, she was appointed executive director and has been a dedicated leader since. Always only a phone call away, many look to Jackie for assistance in achieving their personal and professional goals. She is admired for her ability to improve and enhance the gifts and talents of others, never taking no or I can't as an answer. Her more than 30 years of outstanding work and leadership earned her many accolades, including the YMCA Woman of the Year, Delta Excellence Award for Outstanding Work in Education Development, and the D.M. Elias Award for Outstanding Community Service. Please join me in another round of applause for this first group of nominees.
I'd like to ask our next group of nominees, Valerie Kubin-Bell, Sarah Doherty, Teresa Delic, Renee DeSalvo, and Angela Dusky to join Chelsea at the stage, and also join Guy and Tammy. Published author, researcher, and associate professor at Kent State Trumbull, Dr. Valerie Kubin-Bell uses her knowledge and passion for neuroscience to empower and educate others. She continues to make significant scientific contributions through her research and scholarly articles that study the effects of sports-related concussions on the brain. Her collaborative efforts have led to her appointment as visiting research scholar at Princeton University. Dr. Kubin-Bell's commitment to the professional development of the Valley's youth is exemplified through her role as coordinator and director of STEM Trumbull County, a conference designed to educate young women about the career opportunities in STEM-related fields. She is the recipient of multiple university awards, including the Student-Nominated Outstanding Teacher Award and the Undeniable Accessible Certificate. Sarah Doherty, Director of Operations and Economic Impact at Bright, is a force to be reckoned with in the Valley. In just 1 year, she led the team through a rebranding and positioning the organization to double its revenue and triple its staff. Sarah's team credits the success of its portfolio, which raised more than $70 million in funds, created 200 new jobs, and achieved more than $20 million in sales in 2019 alone through her hard work and diligence. She was the recipient of the Crane's prestigious Notable Women in Nonprofit Award, as well as recognized by the Mahoning Valley Young Professionals as 25 Under 35 honoree. Sarah serves on several boards in the Valley, including the Raymond John Ween Foundation and the YWCA. Prior to her 2001 appointment as Mahoning County Juvenile Court Judge, the Honorable Teresa Delic served as a county court judge and successfully implemented the first misdemeanor drug court. Judge Delic has dedicated her professional life to directing and balancing restorative justice focused on youth accountability and responsibility, public safety, and restoration of victim rights. Among her many accomplishments are the establishment of the Mahoning County High School for at-risk, trauma-affected students, and the success of the Juvenile Court Detention Center, which boasts one of the lowest recidivism rates in the state of Ohio, and is one of only 6 accredited centers across the state. Her commitment to juvenile justice reform has resulted in a myriad of awards. Judge Delic is past president of the Junior League of Mahoning County. Once a single mother on welfare working full-time while attending college, the Honorable Renee DeSalvo today serves as judge in Youngstown Municipal Court and has dedicated her life to the service of others. She was instrumental in the establishment of a YSU scholarship for men and women of the Youngstown Air Force Reserve Base and was awarded the Commander's Coin for her efforts. Her work with the local Human Trafficking Task Force resulted in the initial certification for Grace, the Valley's first victim of home trafficking court, and with the help of multiple local agencies and volunteer attorneys, Judge Del Salvo was able to successfully expand her in-court suspended license intervention program into the area's first one-stop public clinic, helping individuals live a positive life. Angela Dusky became Chief Financial Officer of the Moransky Companies, a family-owned and operated company with more than 1,800 employees and comprising the Chestnut Land Company, Lake Club, Ivory and Birch, Rise Pies, and the Surgical Hospital at Southwoods in July 2020. She was previously a partner at H.D. Davis, and the company experienced double-digit growth in revenue and a 45% increase in staff under her leadership. Angela was also the driving force behind the addition of H.D. Davis's subsidiary companies, White Glove Payroll. She is a founding member of the YSU Larisha School of Accounting and Finance Mentoring Accounting Professional Program, a member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Ohio Society of Certified Public Accountants. Thank you. We now ask that the next group of our recipients please come forward. Cindy Fernbeck, Tricia Ferry, Julia Green, and Lee Green. Please come to the front of the room and join Chelsea, Guy, and Tammy. Cindy Fernbeck shattered the glass ceiling at Boardman High School in 2012 after becoming the first female assistant principal and joining its historically all-male administrative team. In 2015, she was named principal and transformed the administration into a female majority, paving the way for all women in the district. Community service has been the foundation of Cindy's tenure, as she's worked to bring the community into the school and the students into the community through Boardman High School's highly publicized Yes Fest and Legacy Lockdown First Responder Day. Under her leadership, Boardman High School has received numerous accolades, including Advanced Placement District Honor Roll status and a Grammar Signature School, as well as recognition as one of the top high schools in the nation from U.S. News and World Report. Fresh out of college in 1996, Tricia Ferry joined her family's business, VEC, at an office administrative level and spent the next 10 plus years developing her career, eventually finding her niche in human resources. In 2016, she was instrumental in establishing VEC's culture of faith, family, and community, which was the driving force behind its success in navigating an extremely tumultuous and difficult year. Tricia's leadership skills ultimately advanced her from HR into her current role as Executive Vice President of Operations, where she worked to streamline processes and create efficient spending habits that resulted in VEC's lean mentality and the most profitable quarter in the company's history. She sits on the board of directors at the Regional Chamber, Boys and Girls Club of Youngstown, and Mercy Health Foundation. Over the last 20 years, Julie Green has been credited for securing and expanding more than $40 million in grant funds across Trumbull County. As director of the Trumbull County Planning Commission, she has made significant contributions to the success of numerous projects in the area, including the development of the Great Ohio Lake to River Greenway, Neighborhood Stabilization Program, Blueprint for Sanitary Sewer Planning Process, and Youngstown Air Reserve's Joint Land Use Study. Julie proudly serves as president of the Trumbull County Historical Society and chairperson of Eastgate Regional Council of Governors General Policy Board and Finance Committee. She is the recipient of 2 Ohio Governor's Awards and the Ohio Development Service Agency Director's Award for Excellence in Housing and Community Development. Led by Director Lee Green, the Youngstown Local Office on Minority Health is a highly respectable advocate for minority health and well-being across the valley. With the goal of improving health inequity and eliminating systematic racism, Lee leverages state and local funds to host some of the nation's leading speakers on these topics, educating more than 500 community members about the impact of racism on health outcomes. Her efforts help secure upwards to $2 million to reduce Black infant mortality rates and provide resources to 300+ expectant mothers. She leads the Greater Youngstown Dialogue on Racism, sits on the Western Reserve Health Foundation's Board of Directors, and is a member of numerous organizations, including the National Association of Social Workers and Ohio Equity Institution Coalition. Can we give these fine young women a round of applause?
I'd now like to ask our next group of nominees, Vicki Haywood-Doe, Stacy Hallett, Brianna Kamara-Pryden, Karen Larwin, and Shirley McIntosh to join Chelsea near the stage, and then to have your photo taken with Tammy and Guy as I read your introduction. Dr. Vicki Haywood-Doe, President and CEO of Haywood-Doe Consulting and Vicki Doe Fitness, works to help women in the community achieve their career goals as health professionals, entrepreneurs, and more. A published author, allied health professional, researcher, fitness specialist, certified exercise physiologist, and radio-turned-podcast host, she has dedicated her life to motivating, teaching, and promoting the importance of exercise, nutrition, and living a holistic lifestyle. Dr. Doe taught at Kent State University, served as diversity catalyst for the College of Education, Health, and Human Services, and created the annual Healthy Heart, Healthy Living Health and Wellness event. Her many professional accolades include the 2016 KSU Hall of Fame Distinguished Service to EHHS Award and Ohio Commission on Minority Health's 2020 Shero of Health Award. Stacy Hallett, President and CEO of Hallett Logistics, never shies away from a challenge. Whether working alongside her husband to open Coach's Burger Bar in Poland, then growing it to 7 locations across 3 counties, or partnering with Amazon and starting a successful logistics company that created more than 150 jobs and delivered upwards of 1.8 million packages to families in the Valley, Stacy has achieved exponential growth in all of her professional endeavors. Lauded as one of United Way's most valuable volunteers and resources in the business community, in 2020 she accepted the Vice President position of Women United. Stacy continues to mentor and empower females of all ages to improve their circumstances and establish themselves in the workplace. In her role as co-owner and president of Kamara Jewelers, Brianna Kamara-Pryden has helped establish the brand as one of the top companies in the Valley. With a staff that is nearly 80% women, she serves as a well-loved and trusted mentor who continues to empower her team through one-on-one training and promoting from within. Brianna's commitment to her customers and employees was made apparent by the extensive renovations that she spearheaded in 2019, a true testament to her support for the area's growth. Under her leadership, Kamara Jewelers continues to remain a prominent philanthropist in the Valley, honored by the Better Business Bureau in 2018 with the Philanthropist of the Year Award, as well as with the Ethics Award. Since arriving at Youngstown State University in 2010, Associate Professor Dr. Karen Larwin has worked aggressively to empower graduate students to become successful in earning their doctorate degree. Her efforts have led her to graduate more doctoral students than any other professor or group of professors in the program's history and become YSU's first and only female with a designation of Distinguished Professor. In addition to her teaching career, Dr. Larwin owns and operates REM Consulting, a firm that provides research, evaluation, and measurement services to a variety of local agencies and organizations. She serves as YSU Institutional Review Board Chair and was the first female elected to the Executive Board of the American Evaluation Association's Quantitative Methods Theory and Development section. Shirley McIntosh began her professional career in 1994 as a phlebotomist for Laboratory Corporation of America. She rapidly rose through management and today as an IT field tech is responsible for software installation in many physician offices, clinics, and hospitals across the region. Her growing concern for local issues in her hometown compelled her to get involved, and in 2015, Shirley was named the first female mayor of the village of West Farmington. Her impact on the western part of Trumbull County is best felt through the $15 million Blueprint to Prosperity Waterline Initiative project, which brought clean water to not only West Farmington, but to more than 600 individuals, Southington schools, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol Barracks in Southington Township. Can we please give this first group of nominees a round of applause? I would like to ask our final group of nominees, Meredith McNally, Lisa Resnick, Letitia Weaver-Bennett, and Julia Wykes, to join us up front. In 2012, Dr. Meredith McNally, the only board-certified gastroenterologist in the Valley, brought her talents and expertise back to Youngstown after spending time at the Mayo and Cleveland clinics. She joined the Steward Medical Group at Steward Healthcare earlier this year after having spent several years at the Salem Regional Medical Center, most recently as Chief of Staff. In 2019, Dr. McNally co-founded Empowerment, a community offering support enrichment for women in medicine. Dr. McNally is passionate about giving back to her community, and she and husband Jeff Risner were named co-chairs of the 2020 American Heart Association's Tri-County Ball, helping to raise more than $175,000. They also chaired March of Dimes fundraisers and brought in more than $110,000 for the organization's efforts in our valley. Lisa Resnick, realtor at Bergen Real Estate, is a dedicated advocate to her clients throughout the often stressful buying and selling process. Her quality customer service, understanding, and passion for the community has contributed to the company's tremendous growth. Not only has she set the bar high for all Bergen agents, she brings fresh new ideas to the table each day. Lisa is leader of the Empowering Women in Real Estate Monthly Forum and the creator of Walk Youngstown, a campaign showcasing Youngstown's points of interest and encouraging residents to get out and explore. In 2020, she transitioned into Bergen's commercial real estate division, where she has helped further realize the area's vision by quickly closing on 2 major deals aimed to spur redevelopment in downtown Youngstown. From certified nursing assistant to CEO, Letitia Weaver-Bennett graciously serves others through her home health agency, Lala Love Healthcare. With the goal of providing hope and a future to those in need, Letitia administers food, transportation, devotional readings, summer and after-school programs, and more to the children of the community, all free of cost. Her company frequently partners with local businesses and organizations. From throwing Halloween parties to sponsoring Thanksgiving meals, Letitia is always looking for ways to give back. She credits her success to her strong faith in God and is currently in the process of publishing her first book, The Prayers of a Businesswoman, that features daily devotions designed to provide guidance, hope, and encouragement to anyone pursuing their dreams. Executive Director and Pastor Julia Wykes has been instrumental in the Basement Outreach Ministry's growth from 19 people in one house with pizza and coffee to a 501c3 nonprofit organization with 3 locations across the valley. She tirelessly walked the neighborhoods to reach, rescue, and restore individuals and families struggling with homelessness, poverty, and addiction. As a result of Pastor White's efforts, the ministry's dream of having a house became a reality, and administering meals to 25 to 50 people in the basement of a church grew into feeding several thousand per year. She has managed to secure thousands of dollars in grant money, and today, all 3 of the nonprofit's locations feature a food pantry and provide clothing, personal hygiene products, blankets, and sleeping bags to the homeless. Can we please give a round of applause to our final group of nominees? Of course, we're going to keep you in suspense a little bit longer, and we'll name our 2021 Athena Award recipient a little later. In a moment, Fred Moran, owner of Window World of Youngstown, is going to introduce our speaker for the evening. But first, I ask you to direct your attention to the screens once more.
One of the things that most people don't know about me is I actually got cut from everything growing up. I tried every sport, from basketball, volleyball, cheerleading, drama, everything. Apparently it wasn't my thing. So it made me just realize that some things you could do, some things just didn't work out.
I was an extra in a sci-fi movie with Nicole Kidman. Yes, and I actually got to meet Nicole Kidman and the director of the movie in an elevator and made an absolute fool of myself. Could not say anything at all as they were speaking to me.
So something people probably don't know about me is I really was considering running for mayor of the city of Youngstown. I really wanted to at one point, and I thought about it. And then I started working at the health department, and then I saw and then social media came, and then I saw how people are so not very nice on social media. I'm like, I don't think I could ever be the mayor. You have to have totally thick skin, and not that I don't, but I just wouldn't want all that.
I spent about a year in my life total in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia. So my first husband was playing basketball there, and for 2 years. So I think the first 2 years I spent about 6 months each.
So family and friends would know, but other people wouldn't know, that I was married twice in one day. And I have 2 wedding bands to prove it. So the first ceremony was officiated by a priest, and the second by a rabbi. So you're probably thinking it's the beginning of a really bad joke, but for me, it was the beginning of my life with my husband.
I'm a lawyer. I never wanted to be a lawyer, though. I thought I was going to be an OB/GYN, and blood makes me pass out, so it's probably best that I'm not doing that now. But I went to Ohio State, and I went out a lot my first couple years, and my grades weren't too spectacular, so I don't think I would have gotten to medical school. So I ended up going to law school, and I'm happy with my job now, though, so I guess it all worked out.
On the weekends during the spring, from February to May, I officiate NCAA women's lacrosse. So I travel all over the country, and I have been on the Final Four for Divisions 1, 2, and 3. So that's what I do on the weekends.
Something that people would probably not know about me was back in 1992, I worked up the courage to audition for the World Basketball League's Youngstown Pride Dance Line, and I made it. And even though it was a short-lived opportunity, and after all these years, I'm still friends with many of those ladies today. And it was a really neat opportunity to be a part of a program like that in our community.
I actually wanted to be a sportscaster. I grew up, that was the field, I had chosen, and then went to college, and my freshman year I took a communications course, took a psychology course, and loved the psychology course, did not like the communications. So sports is still really close to me, but more as a hobby now.
I suffer from a condition, SD. It's spontaneous dancing. It's problematic. It comes on at any given time, any given place. It looks very like Elaine from Seinfeld. And I think it might be contagious because my husband is showing signs of the condition as well.
I cannot stand when drivers do not use the turning lane. It is my personal pet peeve. Just use it, you know? Don't clog up the left lane. It's there for you. So please exercise it, use it. It's really there for you. It makes things work so much better if you just use the turning lane.
Something that someone really doesn't know about me is that when there is a lot of chaos, I really thrive on that and really think that I'm pretty effective in managing those types of situations and actually like it.
I was a high school point guard, so at 5 feet tall, and I like to say on a good day I'm 5'1", but really 5 feet tall. Most people don't know that I played basketball and softball, but that I was the high school point guard at Boardman and Canfield. I went to both high schools and played basketball there, so that's pretty much what someone would meet me now would have no idea.
I have a love for cheesy 80s fantasy movies. So I just watched Willow yesterday, so sci-fi fantasy movies.
Something people don't know about me is that I wish I could sing. And I'm not asking to sing like Beyonce or Barbara Streisand. I would just like to be able to sing Happy Birthday without someone telling me to shut up.
I think I always put on this strong, brave face. I'm the owner. Everybody comes to me for all the answers. But I go home and I bawl. So, yeah. I'm a big crybaby.
So I had a speech impediment when I was a child. Up until I was about 8 years old, I was in speech therapy every day from kindergarten through 3rd grade. As a toddler, like 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, even through kindergarten, no one could understand me. My own mother couldn't even understand me.
I had one time borrowed my sister's bike without asking, stealing it basically, while she was out practicing her baton. And I was riding it crazily as a bike-aged kid will do. And as I was coming down this hill around the church, the front wheel popped off. I fell forward and smashed my face on the ground. But when I got home, I didn't get in trouble for stealing the bike because I was so injured and everybody felt bad for me.
Talk about a tough act to follow. Holy Moses. I'm so impressed to be among such delightful, delightful ladies. Well-educated, good-looking. I'm Fred Moran of Winterworld Youngstown, and I'm honored to introduce this year's ATHENA Award keynote speaker. I believe, like me, you'll find her both remarkable and inspirational. There's a phrase in business, it's called tone at the top, and it speaks to the personality of a business that is created by its leaders and their leaderships. It's a persona derived not from advertising or public relations, but from actions, example, and deeds. It's the tangible, understandable expression of a company's performance. And in the case of Winterworld, it's the honesty and collective actions and passions that allow it to remain America's largest remodeling company and help it give back to the community it serves. Tonight's keynote speaker not only understands the critical business role of leadership, accomplishment, and vision, but also the vital importance of promise to customers and of care and compassion for those less fortunate. Her sense of purpose and mission has created a company that is known for its family approach to doing business and for its humanitarian call to purpose. As Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board, her strategic contributions remain underpinning of extraordinary success for store owners and their 3,000 employees alike. Her management style is generous, inclusive, infectious, and day in and day out allows the entire Winterworld family to provide homeowners unprecedented quality, value, and satisfaction. I've had the privilege of knowing Tammy for the past 18 years, and it's an absolute honor to bring her to the stage tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a remarkable member of our National Window World family, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Tammy Whitworth.
Thank you for that introduction, Fred. Wow, it is such an opportunity to speak here tonight. It's wonderful to be here, and what an honor, what an honor. First, I just want to say that I am blown away by the level of talent in this room. All of you are setting the bar for women, not just here in Ohio, but everywhere. It's humbling to be in your presence and hear the stories of your success. And I have never been prouder to be a woman in my life. The nominees here tonight represent the pinnacle of professional accomplishment, not only reaching to the stars in their respective careers, but also finding time to support their communities and fellow women in the process. To say I am proud of you all would be an understatement. And it's incredible what you've all done. And I am glad I am not in charge of choosing the recipient. As Fred said, I've been in the home improvement industry most of my life. And the journey to where I am now has been quite the ride. As you all know, life never moves in a straight line. Instead, it takes an unpredictable path, often throwing you off balance when you least expect it. Some of the things I've encountered to get here today have been extremely difficult to overcome. Others, incredibly rewarding. But everything I've experienced has helped me become the person I am today. And I would not be here were it not for my values, my faith, and my family and friends. I started down my path at Window World many years ago. I began working in the home improvement industry in 1994 at a building supply warehouse in Atlanta, Georgia. A few years later, my husband Todd and I opened our first Window World store in Wilmington, North Carolina. Together, we were in charge of running the store from top to bottom. And I learned everything it took to manage a Window World franchise in those first few years, or so I thought. We covered everything from answering the phone and setting leads to finding dependable employees. The days were long, but the journey back then was as exciting as it has ever been. There's something special about being an entrepreneur and depending on yourself to make ends meet. Something I know a lot of you do daily. So as time went on, Todd and I purchased additional Window World stores, and our commitment to the business grew. Each location brought its own unique challenges, and it quickly became apparent how important it was to share our struggles with fellow owners in the system. Now, we might have done this alone, but we knew we'd be so much better at it if we shared our experience with our peers, learning from them, and hopefully returning the favor in the process. When I think of my business heroes, I often remember the men and women who owned our earliest franchisees, most of whom are still owners today, like the Morans. They were pioneers of an entirely new landscape, and they showed us how to stand apart in our industry by being honest, upfront, and giving folks the ability to take care of their greatest investment without breaking the bank. Working with those franchisees were some of the greatest teaching moments in my life, and they're still teaching me to this day. It's vital to listen to our peers and to take every opportunity to learn from their successes and their struggles. Whether your peers are business leaders or artists, teachers or web developers, young or old, the value in their lessons remains the same. There's always much to learn if we take the time to listen. So it wasn't long before Todd took the position of president at Window World Corporate, and he moved into the offices there in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. When his parents retired in 2007, he bought the business, and we made it our mission to continue changing the image of the home remodeling industry from one of deception and trickery to something respectable, approachable, and within the reach of anyone who owned their own home. Back in those days, our competitors would enter your home with a collection of samples and clipboards and never leave until you signed on the dotted line. Not only that, but their pricing structures were intentionally deceptive, and many folks felt tricked into products and features they never needed. There were no values present in much of the home remodeling industry, and we knew this needed to stop. Not only did we want to evolve Window World from a window company into a whole home remodeler by offering more than just windows, but we also wanted to make people feel good about updating their homes, to remove the stress that comes along with making such a considerable purchase, and to view that purchase not as a burden, but as an investment for the future. With Window World on track to become America's largest exterior remodeling company under Todd's control, I devoted myself to finding a way to give back. Having experienced impressive success and growth in our early years, Todd and I knew that we needed to do something to share our blessings with the rest of the world. And what better place to do that than St. Jude Children's Research Hospital? We were inspired to create Window World Cares after our first child, Anna Grace, was born premature, weighing just 2 pounds. She spent her first 51 days of life in the neonatal intensive care unit, more than long enough to give us a perspective of life that we had never had. We gained firsthand experience from Anna Grace's birth of the tremendous strain that comes from worrying about a child's health. We knew no parent should have to deal with that. That experience encouraged us to partner with St. Jude, and we created our charitable arm, Window World Cares, in 2008. Since its inception, Window World Cares has raised over 12 million. Vary. But one thing rings true. It's not the obstacle in front of you that defines who you are. It's how you choose to conquer it. With an optimistic spirit, the willingness to ask for help when it's needed, and an unyielding drive to always do your best, I have no doubt you'll get there. And your journey to the other side will have made you all the better when you arrive. Thank you, good luck, and God bless.
Tammy, thank you for those incredibly inspirational words and lessons in leadership and lessons in life. And I often think if I'm ever faced with those kinds of challenges, I hope I can exhibit the same strength that you have in your life. So thank you for sharing your story with us. And on behalf of everyone, we have a small token of appreciation. We so appreciate your visit to the Mahoning Valley and hope we'll see you back here soon. And to the Moran family, thank you very much for helping to make all of this happen. Before we move on to another highlight of our evening, I would just like to offer thanks to a couple of other people. I'd like to ask you to show one more round of applause and appreciation to Kim Calvert and her team for putting on an exceptional event this evening. I'd like to mention to all of you as you leave the newest edition of the Valley Magazine, the Valley Business Magazine from the Chamber is outside, and the feature article is on the ATHENA Award, so please be sure to pick one of those up as you leave. And our ATHENA recipient this evening not only receives the sculpture, but an ATHENA pin and also a proclamation from our Secretary of State, Frank LaRose. So, before the big announcement, if you would just turn your attention one more time to the screen.
Be open to opportunities. Be resilient. Make sure your team that you surround yourself with personally or professionally is wise, and they lift you up, and you have the ability to lift them up. And the most important thing is just be yourself, and that's enough.
Give yourself a break. Many of the women that I work with, professional women, are always striving to be more, do more, try and, be the perfect in whatever position they're in. And so I would say, give yourself a break, enjoy your life, enjoy your loved ones and your family.
Don't hesitate to speak up for yourself, because you have to be your biggest champion. I also think that all of us can benefit by continuing to learn to be resilient. So when you face adversity or a difficult situation, don't let it steer you away from those dreams and aspirations that you have.
I would say to just be unapologetic about what you're great at. I think oftentimes we are really quick to share our weaknesses or our shortcomings, and know what your strengths are and know how they're going to add value to an organization or a cause. Having that level of confidence really opens doors and commands respect.
When you wake up and you would do it anyway, it's not a job. It's just, that is your passion. So I think that anything that you put your energy in, as long as you're passionate about it, you love what you're doing, it's never really work.
Oftentimes when I'm tackling something that I might not want to do because I think it's hard, I think it's easiest just to strip it down, and instead of getting bogged down by what if I'm not good enough to do this, what if it's too hard, what if this happens, what if that happens, I think it's important just to take the first step, believe in yourself, and go for it.
Have the ability to balance being humble and confident. I think it's really important to be comfortable being confident in yourself, being able to brag about yourself, especially in cases of interviews or something where you're really being called to talk about yourself in a way that you might not be used to doing. But it's also equally important to be humble and be a type of person that people feel comfortable coming to, learning from, and that they're not being intimidated by you.
My best advice for professional women is to be your authentic self. Surround yourself with others who are going to lift you up, not tear you down, and celebrate your victories as well as everyone else's victories around you.
First, I would say take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, whatever you're going after isn't going to happen or happen in an enjoyable way. Second, I would say make sure you have a good person to talk to that can be supportive and encouraging, but also brutally honest with you to help you navigate those difficult times and celebrate the successes with you.
My best advice for a professional woman is to never stop dreaming, to just keep pushing yourself, and when you don't think that something's possible, make it happen and just set goals and keep going.
If you find yourself in a position where you don't have a degree and it isn't easily obtainable, that there is hope. Take that entry-level position. Look around, see what interests you. Volunteer to help where they need help. Knowledge is power. Learn everything that you can. Apply for that job that requires a degree, but go in there and dazzle them with your knowledge that you've learned by volunteering.
I would say don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to give your opinions and to make use of your voice. I feel like sometimes we get relegated to the background a little bit, and it's easy to kind of take a step back and listen to other people, and you can do that, but when the time comes, don't be afraid to speak up and make yourself known.
Don't stop, don't quit, and ultimately, don't look for someone to save you. You don't need it. Whatever you want in this world is up to you, because you're going to have the life that you feel you deserve to have. And so be your own hero. Everyone has a story. You can either have it be an inspiration or you can have it be an excuse, and that's on you.
Trust your gut. And no pun intended as the gastroenterologist, but usually you get a feeling about the situation that's right or people that are right to surround yourself with. So that other than putting your best foot forward and working hard would be to trust your gut instinct and don't ignore that. It's telling you something for a reason, and the sooner you can tap into that and really trust that and go with it, I think the more successful in life you'll be.
And again, we'd like to congratulate all of the nominees and thank you for the impactful words you've shared with us throughout the evening. It's now my honor and privilege to announce the 2021 ATHENA Award recipient. Our recipient is a visionary who has made an impact on the lives of thousands of youth in our valley and helped put them on paths to successful futures. With 20 years of experience in and dedication to her chosen profession, she has also opened doors for women in a male-dominated field and encouraged them to blaze a trail. The Honorable Teresa Delick serves as judge of the Mahoning County Juvenile Court, overseeing the administration of the court. Judge Delick sought to change the entire philosophy of the court, hire passionate and dedicated staff, include each youth and their family in decisions, bring in dollars through grants for programming, and more. The results have been astounding. The court has gained a national and state reputation, and Judge Delick's many accomplishments have been cited throughout the community and throughout the state. Due to her leadership and relentless efforts, the court has been involved in early intervention and diversion programs, recidivism reduction, increasing family self-reliance, and ensuring the safety of those youth being served. In 2001, over 2,000 delinquency cases were filed. In 2019, only 272 were filed. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating our 2021 ATHENA Award recipient, Judge Teresa Delick.
Yeah, maybe you put that down that we gave you an award too.
Well, this is our second time. I'm
Yeah,
going to get,
go.
put it somewhere. Go ahead. Let's make sure it gets clicked afterwards. You may never work this.
That's right. You'll do fine.
We're going to click that afterwards so you don't kill anybody.
Well, I don't have a speech.
Do you want to hold this while you hold it from the bottom?
Hold it from the bottom. Can we put something up on the teleprompters here for me to read? I told everyone at our table, which is a junior league of the Mahoning Valley, we could have been somewhere else tonight because I wasn't going to win. But I do want to start off by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you because I'm very honored to be here. So thank you to the Regional Chamber, the Vindicator, the sponsors, Window World, Huntington Bank, everybody. Thank you all for coming. It'll be a very short speech, so that's the good news. I'm surrounded by a lot of women, and I kept looking at everybody, and I looked at the program, and even beforehand, I'd say, oh my gosh, how does anybody win one? And you should have runner-ups. Because there's so many talented women, especially my colleagues on the bench. So you're all I all thought you were going to win. But I think age has its benefits because I think I'm the oldest nominee. So hang in there. There's still time for all of you, okay? I do want to thank the powerful women I associate with, Junior League of the Mahoning Valley. They're a strong group of women, mighty, because I asked them not to nominate me and they did. So you don't mess with them, so when they come knocking at your door, I have to tell you, you're doing whatever they ask you to do. So then I need to thank the people at juvenile court, because I always say they make me look good. They're the ones doing all the hard work, not me. I just get to come and say hello and maybe tell them what to do. But they're the people down there working, and there are people there working right now in our detention facility, taking care of our youth. So I thank them. I thank my husband, who's not here, because I told him not to come. Oh, he's starting a case in Erie, Pennsylvania, trying it. And I said, that's more important. And I told him I'm not going to win, so to get your work done. Someone's got to pay the bills, right? So I'm going to say for at least 6 months the 3 words every husband wants to hear his wife say. You were right. Oh, they never get to say that, right? So I'll be saying that tonight, and I'll probably be texting him soon and telling him you were right. But I do wish he were here because he is my biggest supporter, and I think we also have to surround yourself with people who support you, and I have wonderful ladies who support me and wonderful friends. And I have a wonderful husband of 30 plus years. Don't ask me to do the math. I just know it's over 30 now. And so I thank him, and he was right. And then finally, I always do thank God, because he puts me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. And I can't do anything without him. So thank you.
Well done, Judge. Nothing on the teleprompter for me either. You guys don't want that anyways. It's hard to believe. 1 year ago, this room was dark. And something that Dr. Tammy King behind me said earlier today, that she suggested that people do. And I looked out and noticed that a lot of you were comfortable holding hands. So it's a real testament to how far we've emerged in coming back from this COVID. And then I talked to Fred over a year ago, and he was telling me the story about Tammy Whitworth. And I'm not sure too many people in this room or anywhere have emerged to the extent that Tammy has emerged. That was very inspirational. Thank you for your talk tonight. Something Judge Delick said in her video today, life is not fair, and for the past 14 months, life hasn't been fair to any of us. But we're back, 550 strong today. It's a great sign that we are emerging from this crisis, and we're going to be back to whatever the new normal is very soon. A couple quick thank yous. Huntington Bank, you've been a big part of ATHENA for a long time, and I want to thank you for that continued support. And Denise, you mentioned something earlier about partnerships, and I'm just very grateful that Huntington is a regional chamber partner. And all of our sponsors tonight, I encourage everybody, take your program home. There's a long list of people who've made this event possible and made it as great as it is. To the family of Jacqueline Burley, I think some of you are here with us tonight. We share in your loss. Our community did suffer quite a loss Sunday. But thank you for the years that she's had with us. And then finally, I think all of the regional chamber staff is here. Judge Delick, you had mentioned it. They make you look good. I've about 15 people here tonight that make me look good every single day. And I want to thank you for another just fabulous event. This went off very, very well. I really appreciate that. So with that, have a safe evening, and I'm glad you all were here tonight.